Hey y'all, this is my husband Jared.
This is my wife Jenny.
This is CherryPieCottage.
Episode 71.
Yes, it is. It is.
She doesn't have the show notes open for me.
Stop. We've been very distracted this just setting up and recording and yeah. So, we live in Lubbock, Texas. We're never ever gonna get our entire intro done right off the bat. It's not gonna happen. So we live in Lubbock, Texas. We do love it. See, I can say it without trying to convince myself.
It still sounds like you're trying to convince me.
We do love it. So, we picked living here. It's the first place since we've been married that we actually picked where we got to live. Mm-hmm. So, and we picked this place. We really like it. Welcome to all new and returning viewers. New ones, it is very random. We're always this random. We will be ridiculous and giggle and laugh through the whole thing. And if you're returning, you already know this.
Yep.
You know we have just gradually gotten more and more random and ridiculous over the years. So, let's get started. What's been going on, babe?
Here on the planet Hoth, things are finally starting to thaw out. Not really. We're thawed.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, we froze last week. Literally, the entire state of Texas was frozen.
Not last week, week before.
Yeah, week before last.
So.
Yeah. If you don't watch news, well then you didn't know this. But if you do watch the news or on Facebook or anyways, Texas froze. A lot of places lost their electricity. And because of their electricity going off, their pipes froze. Plus, pipes down south are not winterized. So, because it doesn't get that cold. Ever. It got below freezing in Houston.
We had negatives here.
Yeah. Which,
we're not supposed to have negatives here.
No, we don't get actual negatives. With the wind chill, it might feel like a negative number, but we don't usually get negatives here.
You Canadians, I don't know why y'all let your weather roam about like that, but...
Yeah.
Ugh.
Last time the podcast was late because we lost power. Mm-hmm. And they asked us to conserve energy. So I had to wait until those restrictions were lifted before I could do the podcast. And so there was no update last time. But there will be an update this time. And it will have the bags from the last one in it. So, what?
I left my phone over there.
Good job. Lara said for her. So, I did it. Stop.
That's about all that's been going on, really.
Yeah, pretty much. We froze. Electricity was out for 80% of the state is on ERCOT. Which, yeah. And it was ERCOT's failure. Basically. They did not winterize their system at all.
Which, to be fair, okay.
They knew about this 10 years ago that they should have.
To be fair, though, the entire state experiencing the same weather has not happened in like 110 years.
True.
Okay.
But they still... It should not be that bad. If they can air condition everybody in Texas and not, lose power, then they should be able to make the heaters work for that long.
I guess I should say the entire state experiencing the same winter weather has not happened in 110 years.
No, I get that. There was a surge for electricity and power. But a lot of people have heaters that are gas. So the thing is they didn't have everything online like they should have.
Right.
They had some of them turned off. They did not do their job.
Luckily, this thing does not run on gas.
No.
So
we were getting a little bit desperate for firewood though because we didn't have much.
Yeah.
So
that was on us though.
Yeah, that one was on us. But the fact that we lost power was not on us. That was
unacceptable
in my opinion, really.
See, and we had it light. We didn't have it as bad, really, because
oh yeah, no,
they had planned to shut our power off for 1 hour at 7 o'clock in the morning for some reason. You know, right when everybody's getting up to go to work.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense. So they shut everybody's power off at 7 a.m. Then at 8, when they wanted to turn it back on,
they broke something.
There was some component in the substation that broke. And so it took them another 5 hours to get that one part fixed. So we were actually without power for 6 hours when it should have only been 1. But there were lots of people who were without power for days.
Yeah,
so
we are very grateful.
We are very grateful that it was only the 6 hours.
And our pipes, none of them froze because ours are winterized up here. For the most part, they're winterized.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any pipes on exterior walls.
No.
So.
No. The only one that I was really concerned about was our bathroom with the shower and the kids' shower. But even then, the pipes are in the interior wall, not the outside wall. Yeah. But the back side of the shower is an outside wall. Mm-hmm. So.
I was worried. We do have a spigot right out here by the AC unit.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. And I was kind of worried about that.
Did you ever check it?
I did. I checked it and it was fine.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I didn't know we had a spigot over there. I knew about these 2.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So we have 3 outside spigots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, but we didn't, no pipes burst, so we always had water. Electricity went off for only 6 hours. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they knew this winter storm was coming. So they should, not here, but like the other places, they should have turned on the other systems. Mm-hmm. And in 2011, ERCOT was responsible for, what was it, DFW? Lost power because they had a snowstorm. They had 10 years to make sure that they were fixed in case it happened again. And ERCOT covers 80% of the state's electrical grid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, it was not political at all. It was a failure on the ones that are monitoring the grid, basically, here in Texas. And we are independent from the U.S. Our electrical grid is just the Texas grid. It is not connected to the U.S. grid at all.
Now if we could just get the rest of this. Oh, wait, no.
Most Texans are like, yes, please.
Anyways.
What else was I going to say?
Treat yourself.
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I forgot.
Oh, well. Must not have been that important.
No, his parents lost power for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And had a pipe burst. Your grandmother lost power and had a pipe burst.
Yeah. And my brother.
Yeah.
And they live, my parents and my brother are all in San Antonio.
Houston,
yeah. Why did I say San Antonio?
Because your grandmother.
My grandparents are in San Antonio. So, to me, the crazy thing was the fact, like I said, the entire state, had the same winter storm at the same time.
Galveston Beach had snow.
Yeah. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have heat waves at the exact same time. But down south, they don't ever get that cold.
No. They were having to pull sea turtles out of the Gulf.
Yeah.
Because apparently the sea turtles don't understand, hey, the water's getting colder, I should swim away. And so they were stuck there.
They got cold shock.
Yeah.
So they pulled out 4,500 sea turtles to nurse them back. And then they've released them all back in.
Out of the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, it was that cold. It shocked the sea turtles. There's a picture of a bluebonnet at Garner State Park, and it is like frozen, like it's got an ice cube over it. It was frozen solid. So it was ridiculous and hasn't happened in 110 years.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? Within a week,
it was all gone.
It was all gone?
Once it got above freezing, everything started to melt.
Mm-hmm. within a few days, I mean, people were getting their power turned back on, and haven't had problems since.
Our governor authorized out-of-state plumbers temporary licenses so they could come in and help get all of the pipes fixed and everything, because all the ones here in Texas were backed up.
Yeah.
Also, we had no looting, no rioting, none of that. People, like at gas stations, they have the packs of water sitting out. People were like taking them, but then sliding money under the doors. So, I was really proud of our home state. Texans were out helping other Texans.
Mm-hmm.
If people had 4x4s, they were out trying to help get people unstuck. People were posting on Facebook, "Hey, I have power and water. Come to my house if you're cold." Schools here were opening up so the ones that didn't have water, that their pipe burst, so they didn't have water, they could come in or didn't have electricity for hot water, they could go in and take a shower. I mean, we all pulled together and helped each other out just like we normally do.
Which is the way it should be.
Yeah. But that's why we're so proud to be Texans. Do you have anything else to add to what's been going on?
Not really. No.
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 No. Okay. We have a cowl like a make along. Kal or Cal. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be a Mal?
Well, it's a cowl. Cal or...
Because what if somebody wants to sew something?
Well, I mean, I guess they could.
Just saying.
But it's like our third annual one though, so...
I know.
This comes out, this is February 28th, which is Sunday. So when this comes out tomorrow, our Treat Yourself Cow has started. And it will run March 1st through March 31st. You can make whatever you want, but it has to be for yourself.
Yes.
Not for anybody else.
Be selfish.
Also, the whips are not allowed. So it needs to be something that you start March 1st, basically. And it could be something as teeny tiny as the little mochi things. The little mochi creatures, crocheted knitted mochi things. Not mochi like Japanese food. Our son loves mochi though.
So gross. I finally finished my sock.
And he has socks.
Socks.
He has the other one.
I do have the other one. I'm tying off ends though. Mm-hmm. So, and I have to redo the bind off because I did not do a stretchy bind off. And getting it around my cankles is...
Why didn't you do a stretchy bind off?
I don't know. I mean, you see how short my cuff is.
He was done.
I was so done. I did all the colors.
Twice.
And I did not do a very good job on this pair of socks either because I have ladders on both sides. I got a big old hole right there. And yeah, I did not do very well on these socks.
I think he did fine. The problem is that he knits tighter with the pattern, or looser with the pattern, than he does when he's just knitting. And right where he's seeing a ladder is just where, like, he's going from the pattern to just knitting.
Yeah, it's the transition from the front side of the needles to the back side of the needles on the magic loop, and our dog is over by the door.
Hold on.
Oh, she straightened up.
She was over there just pouting because her people aren't. Her little humans aren't here.
But yeah, she's so sad and spoiled.
See.
And yeah.
She's sitting by our front door.
But this was the 12-day Advent for Rudolph.
Yes.
So
when I died this last year.
Her 12-day Advent based off of the old claymation Rudolph. So you got Rudolph, original. Clarice, and then all the other characters.
Ermy.
Up to here. and then it starts over again.
I can tell you who they are.
I know you could, but that's not important right now. So.
You couldn't remember. That's your problem.
Okay. It is, let me see, it's Rudolph.
Nobody can see you.
It's Rudolph, Clarice.
Nobody can see you. That's what I said is nobody can see you, and then you drop down where really nobody can see you.
They can still see me. Okay, so Rudolph, Clarice, Hermie,
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius, and then Bomble, and then Dolly, Spotted Elephant,
Actually,
Charlie in the Box?
No, Charlie in the Box was instead of Dolly.
So this is Charlie in the Box.
Spotted Elephant.
Spotted Elephant, Dolly,
King
King Moonracer, Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, and then the Christmas tree.
No, Sam the Snowman.
Sam the Snowman.
The narrator, Burl Ives.
Burl Ives, yep. See, I knew them all. But.
And what are they on? Who are you? Your sock blocker.
Oh, my sock blocker, yes, is on my personalized Texas Goblin King sock blocker from Burning Impressions that we got in Vancouver. So and there's that one, and then
it's a faux.
This is the one that I'm dealing with right now
because
trying to get all the ends tied off.
They're all minis, and it's a make your own stripe. And he's doing like I do, just double or triple knot it and then trim it down because it will felt itself.
Well, I'm just doing a square knot, so
okay.
But right over left, left over right, done. But that's it. That's my phone.
Okay.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
Do you have any photos?
Yes, I do. I have one.
Okay.
So these are my Advent socks. So y'all saw my Rudolph ones last time. These are the 24-day Advent that I did for this last year, and this was A Christmas Story. So 24 different colors, and I really, really like this one a lot. Like some of these might have to come back next year. Especially this one. I really like this one, Christmas Morning.
Yeah, that was real nice.
I like that one a lot. But there you go. And the contrast color is yes.
Good job.
Colorway is minty. Can't remember who it's by, but it was leftovers. So that I've used in a few other projects. And I have both of them. And these are on my customized Burning Impressions sock blockers. So, there you go. That's all I have. And I know you don't have any other ones because you would be bragging about how you had more than me.
I would. I would make you sit there quietly while I went through all of them.
Well, then it's time to move on to our next section, which is
Whip it. Whip it good.
Hey, babe, what you whipping up? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm not whipping up nothing right now.
Oh, so you're going to be in this section.
Yeah, I'll be over
okay. So I did work a little bit on my pink velvet sweater by Drea Renee Knits. Andrea Maurer, yeah. Had to think. Not enough really to show y'all. But I did cast on my Weekender Light, which is also by her. So, and this is the one that I am using that I'm doing for a Christmas sweater. I am using my yarn, and I'm striping it. But this is Peppermints, and I'm striping it with No Makers Elf Pooped in My Stocking. I have finished the back ribbing, the hem of the back, the back hem ribbing. There we go. And I did it way longer than what she called for because I wanted it longer. And I have started the front hem. And I told him that it kind of looks like a Christmas Dalmatian dog. So, you can definitely tell where the red is starting to get thicker though. But I'm really enjoying it. And then the body is where I'm going to do the stripes. All the ribbing will be the peppermints. And that is in a bag that I made. And it is the Nutcracker. Okay, like a few years ago. We're going to chunk.
It's on the floor.
Yeah, I see that. And then I do this every time.
What'd you do?
Left my pattern out of the bag.
Good job.
So last time y'all saw me casting these on, and these are the Gabriella mitts. They're convertible mitts.
I'm gonna grab my phone while you're talking.
Okay, they're by Dana Berry. Can you put this in the bag? Or at least over there?
I'll put it over.
Okay. By Dana Berry, not sure, or Doodlebug Knits. Not sure if it's free or not. It's been years. This is the one where I knit the entire mitt. I just had to go back and redo the fingers. And yeah, I had to frog it because I went back to like, I did the bind off too tight, or the thumb was too tight or something, so I was just gonna bring the thumb back, and it like
You
kept
snipped the
going.
wrong part.
It just kept going, and I couldn't find an end of where to pick it up because you had picked up stitches. So when I got back down to the thumb, there was no stitches to pick up. It just kept going. So I had to frog the whole thing. I was not happy. But I am using my yarn on DK Tweed Burple. And this is what I've gotten so far. Yeah, I know, a whole lot, right? But it's not cold anymore, so I don't really want to work on it. I'll get back to them eventually. So, and that is in my Canadian bag. This land is our land. By Prairie Dye Studios. Still cracks him up. And then I cast on another pair of socks since I cast off that other one. And these are by Turtle Pearl Yarns. Striped turtle toes. Okay. The colorway is 1992. And it is 100 grams. But they were already divided up into 2, so I just wound them up. And then contrast.
That is very 90s.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's like a Lisa Frank binder right there.
This is by colorway Sleeping Beauty. I cannot remember. I had it the other day. So, but I can't remember what. This was used in another project, so. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. Anyways, the colorway is Sleeping Beauty. I don't think she dyes this colorway anymore.
It's not No Makers, is it?
No, it's not No Makers. But here's what I've got so far. I'm loving these colors. However, the wide stripes are driving me nuts because it takes me forever to get through one stripe. And when I'm knitting self-striping, I'm like, okay, let's do the next stripe. Let's do the next stripe. That stripe just seems to take forever. But it's in my Knit for Brains Dr. Pepper bag. And I'm just working on it in between my socks that I'm working on each.
That one stayed on the couch.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Still forgot to put the tag in.
Good job.
But I'm just working on that in between other socks, like my monthly socks that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I've got to take this off. I'm warm now. I was cold. And I haven't worn this shawl in forever. No clue what the pattern is. I know that the dark tonal and then this bit, the variegated, are No Makers. It was a doppelganger set, and it was something flannel.
Zombie flannel?
I don't know.
I think
that's the problem.
I think that's zombie flannel.
So, And then this one was After the Storm by Loops before they split into two companies. But I love that shawl, but it was I've rearranged my shawls recently because I wasn't wearing but like 2 or 3 of the same ones. So I rearranged them where I can see all of them now. And I found that one. I was like, ah. Oh. Okay. And then I'm also wearing my throwback sweater. And I'm starting to get warm in this one too. Okay. Had to take the other sweater off because it was warm. I'll get cold again here in a minute. That's all I have for whips. Do you have any cast-on-itis?
I do.
What?
I do, and I don't know.
Impressed.
I think I'm gonna cast this on for the treat yourself.
You know you can't get prizes.
I know I can't get prizes because you're selfish.
I'm not selfish. Rude.
So I'm gonna be knitting the littlest pine tree.
Little pine tree, not the littlest. Just
You know what? Give me a pen and I'll fix this.
No.
The little pine tree, but I'm gonna hijack it. I'm gonna hijack it because instead of another hat, I'm gonna do a cowl, and mine's gonna be monochrome. So
because you're boring.
Because I'm boring, but I'm also gonna make it harder because I'm gonna try to do it double knit. So that way it's reversible and different. So, what I have Stranded Dye Works. This is their Superwash Big Frickin' Llama DK in the smoked colorway.
And she's in England.
That's this one. Yes. Great yarn, dyed in Great Britain.
Yeah. She has a podcast called Stranded too.
Yes. And this is the smoked colorway that I'm going to be using. And then just an undyed Superwash DK.
Part of it. But
Well, I know that's not part of it. But that was on there. So,
that's what I use to when I'm getting ready to dye it.
But
It already been prepped.
so just a monochrome zebra hat. So, but today I have to reteach myself how to do double knitting because I've done it one time and I didn't even finish the project.
No, because you got bored and you also did it with really
fingering.
thin fingering weight.
It was fingering weight trying to do a Star Wars scarf, which...
Well, in your defense, we had just learned how to knit, and you were TDY, and you don't go out and drink in casinos and all of that.
Yeah.
So you went to a yarn store and got yarn for your wife and picked
did.
up some for yourself to teach yourself how to do that.
Yeah. Actually, I watched the YouTube videos in the airport and while waiting to go to Vegas. So, yeah. So I've got to reteach myself how to do that. Do the cast on, do all that stuff, but
all that fun stuff,
all that jazz.
And all that jazz. Okay, sorry. Okay, Cozy Up Knits was talking about how they always have songs playing in their head, and they said that they're just gonna start singing them when they say them. I'm like, hey, it's what I do all day, every day. I even do it on the podcast quite often. Annoys him, and our son says it annoys him when he's around, but when he's not around, he sings along with us. So, I have 2 cast-ons. Future cast-ons.
Guess I was done.
Are you done?
I guess so.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah. Don't be snot pants. Being a butt again. This is these are the socks for our son. And this is the contrast color that he picked. It is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Cobblestone Heather. Tried to convince him to get a more brighter, prettier, not prettier, but a just more brighter color. He's like, no, I really like the gray, Mom. Tried to get him one that I'd already wound up. No, I really like this one better. Okay, then I guess we're doing that. I said, your socks aren't going to match. He goes, okay. So, this is from Night Owl Fibers, and she's down in Houston, and this is one of her friend's colorways. This was the one for January, and it's I'll Be There For You. I'm casting these on, and these are going to be the ones that I knit a stripe a day, or like 6 rows a day. Anyways, I should have them finished by the end of March. That's the plan. But this is in my You So and So very first knitting, one of the very first knitting bags I ever bought. Don't know if she's still in business or not, but she was on Etsy. So there you go, sushi. And then I have these. This was from Lollipop Girl Yarns. I don't know why I want to say girls. Lollipop Girl Yarns. Advent 2019. Yeah, this was the main skein. I am going to cast on my Christmas socks. And then by Christmas they should be done because this is not self-striping. It's going to take me forever. But that's my plan, and it's in one of my favorite Christmas bags. The one that I always use year-round. So, and that one she doesn't sell. She was just a quilter. And it was like a project bag exchange. So, but that's all I have for cast on itis. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
No other plans? Ooh, your sweater. You were gonna pick a sweater out, and I was gonna dye you up.
Yeah, but I haven't picked a sweater out yet.
Yeah.
So.
But you're planning to do it in my thunderstorm colorway.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so if y'all have any good like big shawl collar cable men's sweater patterns that are DK weight, send them. Let us know in the comments down below. So that's what he's looking for. But if that's all we have, then now it's time for.
See what had happened was.
I have to do it now. Oh, it's Hesper. Go ahead.
Okay. So we've gone over Indian tribes. We've gone over the French Texas, which was about that much of Texas history. We went over the Comancheria last time, which was the area that the Comanche tribe controlled. Now we're on to Mexican Texas.
Which is pretty convenient because this last week was
not to be confused with Mexican Coke, which is the best form of Coke.
If it's in a glass bottle.
It has to be in the glass bottle. Right
out of the thing of ice.
Yep. Anyway.
Which is very convenient because this last week was the anniversary of the Battle of the Alamo.
Yep. But we're not there yet.
No. But that was essentially the start of we don't want to be part of Mexico no more.
Right. So, in 1821, the Mexican War for Independence severed Spain from Mexico, or Mexico from Spain, I should say.
People living in Texas helped.
Yes.
Fought in that war too.
Right. So people living, they were called Texians at the time. Okay, they helped Mexico win their independence from Spain. So, and that actually, severed all control that Spain had over U.S. territory, or North American territories. The new country, Mexico, was formed from much of the lands that made up New Spain, including Spanish Texas. So, the 1824 Constitution of Mexico joined the state of, I can never, Coahuila, right there, Coahuila.
Coahuila or Coahuila?
Something. Okay. To form, it combined Texas and Coahuila to form the state of Coahuila y Tejas. Because Mexico is actually states. Did you know that? It is Estados Unidos de Mexico.
That's why it's the the United States or something like that of Mexico.
Estados Unidos de Mexico.
I mean, today, there's still that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the Congress did allow Texas the option of forming its own state as soon as it feels capable of doing so. it would have still been a Mexican state, but it could have separated from Coahuila. And I'm most likely butchering that name. So if I am,
sorry, not
don't
sorry.
hate me, but yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that they were put together with the option that Texas could one day become its own estado, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the same year, Mexico enacted the General Colonization Law, which enabled all heads of household, no matter where they were from, no matter their race or immigrant status, they could claim land in Mexico. And they did this in order to entice more people to come in and settle the land. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't have the manpower or the funds to protect the settlers from the constant Comanche raids. And so they figured the more people that were there that came in and claimed land, the more protection that settlers would have. Mm-hmm. Kind of it takes a village to beat the Indians, I guess.
I get it.
So they went super liberal with their immigration policies, allowing almost anybody to come in. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them came from the United States.
Tennessee.
Yep. The German settlement in Mexico, there's actually Mexican Germans. I did not know that.
Fredericksburg? Or is that after?
Fredericksburg is way after all this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the German settlement in Mexico goes back to the time that they settled Texas when it was under the Spanish rule. So Spain owned it, but a lot of Germans were already coming over because our geography in that area, at least, is so similar to what they were used to.
Mm-hmm. Lara, we are podcasting.
You knew that. You knew we were. And there were also Mexican-Irish communities.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you got to figure it. You know, they came to this area. They came to what was Texas, but under Mexican control. So,
Laura, we're podcasting.
both of you, really?
Yes.
However, many Irish sided with Mexico against the U.S. when.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think they would the way that England was just taking over Ireland.
But it's because Mexico was Catholic.
Okay.
And the U.S. was
Got it.
pro-Protestant. And so they were siding with their religious beliefs. They sided with
Understandable.
Catholic. All right, so the first impresarial grant had been made under Spanish control to Moses Austin. Does that name sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's the father of Stephen F. Austin.
Yes.
Yes.
I knew that.
So the grant was passed to his son, Stephen F. Austin, whose settlers, known as the Old 300, settled along the Brazos River in 1822. The grant was later ratified by the Mexican government, and 23 other impresarios were brought settlers to the state. So this whole time, all they're trying to do is just build up their population in the area. And starting in 1821, in spite of the growing limitations on slavery in Mexico, all of the U.S. settlers that were coming over were bringing, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were bringing slaves with them. And eventually, Mexico said, okay, no more. You cannot own slaves in Mexican territory, which is great.
Yes.
Good for Mexico. Okay.
Very good.
They kind of, they found a loophole.
They said no more, but they still had them.
They labeled them as indentured servants for life. So,
Still wrong.
Yes, extremely wrong.
Very wrong.
And by 1836, there were 5,000 enslaved African Americans in Texas.
No Irish?
Not that I saw in here.
Okay.
So, in 1829, Mexico outlawed slavery, 100%. So,
Good for them.
yes, good for them. The Mexican president, Anastasio Bustamante, then outlawed immigration of U.S. citizens to Texas in 1830. So they I guess they kind of reached the population that they were looking for in the area, or just to keep slaves from continuing to be brought in.
Yeah.
And they set up several new presidios to monitor immigration and custom practices. So the new laws also called for the enforcement of customs duties, angering both the native Mexican citizens, known as Tejanos, and the Anglos. In 1832, a group of men led a revolt against customs enforcements in Anahuac, which coincided with a revolt in Mexico against the current president. And the Texans sided with the Federalists under the current government after the Battle of Nacogdoches. Mm-hmm. So Texans took advantage of the lack of oversight in order to kind of stir up that kind of political freedom movement in Mexico.
Stephen F. Austin was one of the heads of it. He was like, no, I won't own land.
Right. And that resulted in the Convention of 1832, which was the first political gathering of colonists in Mexican Texas. So that was kind of like their...
first move?
Yeah, it's kind of like their first Congress saying, hey, we don't want to be part of Mexico anymore. Among other issues, the convention demanded that U.S. citizens be allowed to immigrate into Texas and requested independent statehood for the area. Mm-hmm. So at this point, like I said earlier, it was combined with Coahuila to make Coahuila y Tejas. They wanted now to separate from Coahuila and just be Texas.
Still a part of...
Be Tejas.
Yeah.
Right.
Still be a part of Mexico, but their own state. Got it.
So they're slowly working on separating themselves. The following year, Texians, which is what they called themselves, reiterated their demands at the convention of 1833. And after presenting their petition, courier Stephen F. Austin was actually jailed in Mexico City for 2 years. That would suck.
Yes.
So they put him in jail because they suspected him of treason. Which...
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean, in a way it was.
Yeah.
The American Revolution was treason, really.
Yeah.
So...
But we won that one.
Yes. So although Mexico implemented several measures to appease the colonists, President Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, we've all heard that name before.
Yeah.
He implemented measures to transform Mexico from a federalist to a centralist state, providing an excuse for the Texan colonists to revolt. So whenever
he
essentially
himself.
Yeah, he essentially came in and said, I am in charge. I'm going to do whatever I want. You have that much say in it.
And we went, nope, not doing that.
And we said, and yeah.
But even after we beat them, we still have towns called Santa Ana.
Yes, there. I think there's a Santa Ana City and a Santa Ana County, I think.
Yep. And
different.
Yeah.
Like Santa Ana City is not in the county of...
Yeah. And when we captured him, we didn't kill him.
No.
They actually became, like...
Because we're better than that.
They came to an agreement. So, he left us alone. He said, okay, you beat me. There you go.
Yep. So, we are going to leave Mexican Texas right there. And we're going to pick up next time.
Can you all tell my favorite part of Texas history is the Alamo?
The next part is the Texas Revolution.
Woohoo!
So, that was... See What Happened Was.
See What Happened Was. It's the only section that has its own little song.
Now, Breaking News had its own.
No, it didn't.
It did. When I was editing, it did.
No, it just had the dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee that our son did. That's not a song.
Had its own sound effect.
Well, that's different. Our dog is utterly missing our children.
She's so miserable.
Kiki. Her name is short for Waikiki.
Yeah, we don't call her Waikiki ever.
No. But that's how we came up with the name Kiki.
Yes.
Hi, sweet girl. You need some love. Yeah.
Anyway.
Now she's okay.
Yeah.
Tail wagging, happy. Hi. You can go see Daddy.
Hi. She just straight up nodded at you.
Yeah, she did. She does that.
Come here.
She does that sometimes. Like the other night, our daughter didn't put her bowl of food down fast enough, and Kiki looked at her, put a paw up, and did this. Like, put it down.
No, say hi to the people.
Say hi.
Say hi to the people.
Hi.
Yes, we talk to our dog like that.
Yes, we do.
We never talk to our kids in baby talk.
Our kids actually have giant vocabularies because we always talk to them like just people.
Yes.
So.
Pibble.
Bibble.
But we do baby talk our dog.
Because we can't mess up her vocabulary.
No. Are you a good girl? You are a good girl. Yes, you are. Mwah. You're a good girl.
She's got blood blister there on her toenail or something.
Anyway. So now it's time. Oh, wait, you say it. You say that.
Now it's time for.
My precious!
Do you have any, my precious?
I
think she had her face going down.
Oh. Okay, go on. I do not have any my precious.
I do. Wasn't expecting to have this one though.
Kiki, up. Go on. Sorry. There you go. Okay.
Okay. Laura or Lara from Lollipop Girl Yarns sent me her her Valentine's advent. These are not in the order that they're supposed to be opened because I got them after Valentine's Day, so I ripped them all open, didn't pay attention to the order at all. I'm going to show you the order that I think they should go in because they fade. But this one is Forrest Gump, Forrest and Jennie from Forrest Gump. So pretty. Then this one is Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. Not surprised she has a Gilmore Girls in there. She loves that show. Vivian and Edward. Nope, not that one. This one. Ha. Buffy and Angel from Buffy Vampire Slayer. Very vampire-y. This one is Vivian and Edward from Pretty Woman. There's one of my hairs on it. Can you grab it?
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Never.
I have.
You really think my parents would have let me watch Pretty Woman growing up?
But you haven't lived with your parents for 20 years.
But I've had zero desire to watch
almost
it.
20 years.
I had zero desire to see it.
Okay. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice.
That's not even the good version.
You mean the zombies one?
Yes, Pride and Prejudice isn't... Yeah, Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
This is something I've never read the books, I've never watched the movie, so I have no clue. Anna and Christian from 50 Shades of Grey.
Funny story about 50 Shades of Grey. When we were in Afghanistan, the bus that we used to go to and from work had a loudspeaker and a little CB mic on it. Somebody, I don't know who, honest to goodness, I don't know who, had a copy of 50 Shades of Grey. So we would when we were driving to and from work, we would get on the loudspeaker and just turn to a random page in 50 Shades of Grey and start reading it over the loudspeaker.
Because that's the way the military money should have been spent, right?
That was our bus, like our unit paid for the whole thing. So had a big mustache on the front of it. So
not surprised you did that with your crew.
Yeah.
Deacon and Raina, Nashville. Again, not a show I watched.
Never seen it.
I said she should have done Joey and oh my goodness, how did I forget that?
Paisley?
Oh my goodness. How did I forget that? I love that show. It's Dawson's Creek. I told her she should have done Joey and Pacey. She just went on that idea apparently. No, just kidding. I love you, Laura. Landon and Jamie, A Walk to Remember. Ooh, that's a good movie. You have too. You watched it with me once.
If you say so.
It was right after we got married. We didn't have cable. We had a lot of movies between the two of us. We watched a lot of movies.
Maybe I did.
Mm-hmm. This one is Ian and Tula from A Big Fat Greek Wedding, which our daughter loves that movie. This one is Sam and Diane from Cheers. Didn't really watch the show. Parents didn't really want me to watch a show about a bar. But, I mean...
Oddly enough, we watched Cheers.
Really?
Yeah.
This one's Kevin and Winnie, Wonder Years. We did watch that show occasionally.
Yep.
This one is Penny and Leonard from Big Bang Theory. We watched that one.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I really like that one. That one's coming out brighter than what it actually is, though. Mm-hmm. Then we have Ellie and Carl from Up. Oh my goodness, I love this one so much. Super bright.
Now, before you show it, this last one, the best TV couple ever.
Yes.
The best.
Any guesses? Let me hear.
Absolute best TV couple.
Guesses?
Ever. And growing up, I could relate to this show
more than any other
way
show.
more than any other show.
Yep. Me too.
Like, and
still love the show.
Still, I would sit and watch this show today.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World. That's our childhood, basically.
Like, I don't really care for the colorway because it's purple and pink and not me.
But it's definitely...
But it's Corey and Topanga.
It's Corey and Topanga.
Okay.
Topanga! Why is he acting like that? I let him touch my butt.
like I would watch Saved by the Bell growing up.
I did.
But I could relate to Boy Meets World way more than...
Because the actors were more age appropriate for the ages they were playing.
And because they never did an episode about drugs where it was caffeine pills.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's just ridiculous.
Caffeine pills are bad. You shouldn't take them. Not like she was, but still. I mean... Yeah, no. We could relate to it more. But, come on, Topanga! I love that show so much. And we also watched Girl Meets World when they did a spin-off reboot of Corey and Topanga, and it was their daughter and her best friend. Mm-hmm. And our daughter related to that show.
Yes.
So, but that's all I have for my precious. All the pretties.
Yarn.
So pretty. Yarn. Do you have anything else? I do have another skein, but because of the winter storm that we had, mail is like slow and backed up. And this was coming from Houston. It's my friend's yarn, Monica's apartment from Night Owl Fiber, so I'll be able to show you that next time.
Yep.
So, which she already had, she has the March one out, so y'all go grab it. This one is, I'm doing good, baby. How are you doing? Very much a boy color, but my daughter's like, no, I'm good. You can use that for Michael. But both of our kids love it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I know fibers.
Bear with.
Bear with.
Bear with.
Bear with. Yeah. It's this one. I'm doing good, baby. How you doing? So, and then there's the inspiration.
I didn't get the reference.
It's when
I
they
didn't
went,
watch Friends all that much growing up.
Okay, they went to Vegas, and on the way there, Rachel and Ross were just ragging on each other when she fell asleep, saying that they don't get embarrassed. Well, when she fell asleep, he used permanent pen and drew a mustache on her face. So they spent the entire time in the hotel room and got really, really drunk. And Joey comes in and he notices it. And he's like, how much has she had to drink? He goes, they go, I don't know. And he goes, how you doing? And she goes, I'm doing good, baby. How are you? And he turns to Ross and says, don't let her drink anymore. That's what it is.
Yeah, I didn't watch Friends all that much growing up.
And now our kids are on their third time rewatching the series.
Goodness.
They love that series. So I've been buying the yarn to knit them stuff. Plus the yarn is just pretty and soft. And I've been wanting to try her yarn. But that's all we have for...
My precious!
Now it's time to move on to shop
News!
Haha, we're back. Did quit recording. And it missed our high five. And it was a really good high five. But at least it got us saying shop news at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last episode, this was supposed to be in the update. And it was bags. But I messed them up. So they're in the shop. They're going to be in the shop at a discount. So these are my small drawstring. They're still perfectly functional, but up here at the tab, I normally stitch this up before I put it on. So that way when you go to pull on the cord, it doesn't pull it out. So...
I mean, it's not doing it.
I know, but I still can't.
No, I mean...
So, hold on, I need to double check something.
I'm doing quality control right now.
Well, stop it.
This reminds me of a specific week every year in school growing up.
Ocean Week?
Yes, because I grew up in South Texas, kind of near the coast. So
these are normally 25, but I'm putting them in at 20 because I messed them up. So those will be in there. And the inside is the mint green. What?
Well, I'm looking at what the writing is on it.
Oh, I didn't know there was writing.
Yeah.
Where?
Like right there.
Text something.
You got this like weird compass thing there. And...
I don't know. And then he's got the other size that he's just inspecting.
Fidgeting.
So these are the extra small. These are normally 20. For some reason, these were marked at 20, like the other extra small I had in were at 23. They should have only been 20. But these will be in the shop for 15 because they have the same little tab problem. And I don't want to go back and rip them all out. So I'm just going to put them in at a discounted rate. So extra small 20, or no, extra small 15, small 20. Okay, you're being a dork. So, bags. Now it's time for yarn.
Yarn.
Okay, so this colorway is in the shop on Aran Tweed, but Thunderstorm will now be available on Fingering Sock and Fingering 100. So, and this is the one he wants to use to knit his sweater out of, this colorway. Mm-hmm. So, this one's Thunderstorm. Then, I kind of am going for like a spring theme this time, apparently. It's what I was feeling in the mood for, apparently. But we also have Peony, Fingering 100, and Fingering Sock. So, which these two would be so pretty together.
That works really well together.
So pretty together. Then on Fingering 100, I dyed up some Wildflower. And I dyed up some Rainstorm. Which, these two go really well together. And these two go really well together. Well, there. So, or you could do a sweater and do all four. Maybe do it like that. So, there's those. And then on Fingering Sock, a new colorway, green grass. Again, apparently I was just, and with St. Patrick's Day coming up, I thought I needed a green. But this one is green grass, all the different colors of grass, including some of the dead grass we get here in Texas. Dead spots. So, because let's be honest, most everybody's yard is not perfectly covered in grass. So,
especially up here, we don't get enough moisture.
no. Everybody's got that dead spot somewhere. So, there you go. And then, because I'm a Texan, and it's that time of the year, even though they froze most of them, we still have some more that should be coming up, hopefully. I'm bringing back bluebonnets. This was a Texas wildflower mystery skein last January. So I am bringing it back. And bluebonnets. And it would go really well with green grass. Can you show it together since you took it? And no, you can't keep them. I will.
No, I know. I'm doing something.
Okay.
That one, and then this one, and this one, and this one, and then that one.
Okay. You gonna show them?
Well, because it's like, okay, you got grass, then flower, rain, thunderclouds.
Okay, so
So it's
show
like
them.
a whole landscape.
Show them.
Okay, so
Here, you need me to hold these three?
okay,
Again, apparently I was going for a theme.
yeah. So you got grass, flower, rain, thunderclouds. So whole landscape.
Unintentional. I had already planned to do these two because I needed to get some more tonals on fingering in the shop. And then I was like, well, I need to go ahead and get these on fingering 100 because they're only on fingering sock. And then I was like, well, I want to get some more fingering sock in, and it's bluebonnet time, so I'll do bluebonnet. Then I asked him, I said, what should I do? I've got this kind of going on, and he was like, why not do a green, like green grass, because, St. Patrick's Day, and that came up. So, but apparently I also decided I needed to do pears
Yeah.
in themed colors. So, yeah.
See, if you hadn't already named this, I actually just thought of a name. Since it is St. Patrick's Day, you could have called this Heidi Dighty. Like Heidi Dighty 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 Dighty.
I'd get accused of cultural appropriation then.
But-
so we're not going to do that.
We can do that one.
No, we can't.
And I have red hair, so
The closest we could get is Scotland because I can actually trace back to my great-grandfather coming from Scotland. Oh my goodness, I think I need to cut that out maybe. Wow. So, all the yarn going in the shop. So that will be going in the shop tomorrow, hopefully. That is the plan. Also, going into the shop update. Dun, 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 Halloween pre-orders are going up. My advents. Should we tell them the theme?
yes, you should.
You don't remember what the theme is.
I do. I just want you to be the one to
He
tell
doesn't
them,
remember.
since it's your shop news.
I'm pretty excited about this one because this one is my personal favorite Halloween movie.
Oh,
We
yeah.
watch it as a family every year usually, and it's Hocus Pocus. So, 13 nights as before, so 12 minis and a full skein. But those pre-orders will be going up at some point during this week. I'm hoping to get them up tomorrow. Not promising, but I will be posting it on my Instagram. So, I'm excited about this one. I love Hocus Pocus, y'all.
The yarn's going to be running amok.
Thank you, Master. Thank you. A dead man's toe.
It is not that funny.
I love that movie, y'all, so much. But so that is what's going on with the shop update. If you would like to get a sweater quantity from me, all you have to do is message me on preferably Etsy, because then I know exactly what your Etsy name is. It just helps. And we can get you all set up, and I can let you know if I can get if I have the base that you're wanting. Or if I can order more for you. But Sweater quantities, let me know. Custom orders, minimum of 2 skeins. I can tell you right now, I cannot get a hold of my DK100 base. So it is completely sold out. I cannot get a hold of it. All my other bases I can, as of right now. But I don't want to put my custom die order listing back up because after this last year where like yarn was sold out, I don't want to risk it. So I would rather, if you would like a custom order or sweater quantity, message me and I will get you all set up with a custom listing. So, or at least let you know, hey, I can't get a hold of this base or whatever. So, but I will happily try and do what my customers would like. But that's really all I have. Do you have anything to add? Mm-mm. You're looking at some fun things you might be throwing in the shop. Woodworking stuff.
I am?
Yeah, like coasters and that kind of stuff that you're looking at on Pinterest.
Oh, I kind of need other things first.
I know, but you've
or other thing.
Thing?
Thing. Yes.
Okay. Well then, if that's all we have for shop news, then it's time for the tail end.
Womp womp.
Still not about anybody's butts. Do you have anything to add to the tail end?
Again, I could say so much, but we're not gonna.
We're kind of mad that the disaster in Texas got turned political. There's no need for it.
Yes.
Just stop. Everybody. Wasn't a political thing. It was a winter storm. Politics did not make the winter storm. Just.
That's just what they want you to think.
Stop. But
here's my theory on it. And I told you this in the car earlier. My theory on it is our society has gotten to where you don't talk about politics and religion.
Well, we talk about religion anyway, so
we
doesn't matter.
We do. But,
we avoid politics.
But you don't talk about politics and religion. That's what our society has gotten to. And I think that anytime there's anything, people are so quick to politicize it so that way you don't talk about it. That's just my theory. I don't know.
I think it is.
I have that much evidence for it, but that's my theory is that people are so quick to politicize things to keep people from talking about it because you don't talk about politics and religion. So
yeah, it was a natural disaster. I mean, come on. And the people in charge at ERCOT didn't do what they were supposed to do, which they're a private company.
Right.
Not run by the government at all.
Right.
So, just saying there's a lot more I want to say that I could just let out of my mouth. But I'm just gonna, because we don't do that here.
Yep.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And as Texans, we're very, very, like, almost severely independent. Mm-hmm. We don't want the federal government. Mm-hmm. We want to be by ourselves. Mm-hmm. Let us take care of ourselves, basically. So, yeah, I think that's why it's made us... I can't speak for all Texans, but a lot of my family feels the same way. That's spread out through Texas. Mm-hmm. We're tired of the politicalization. Is that a word? Yeah.
Yes.
Of it. It was a natural storm. It was a freak natural winter storm. But anyways, moving on. We have groups on Facebook and Ravelry. So if you would like to participate in our upcoming cowl, please go and join one of our groups because you need to be a member of either of one or the other, or both, because you can post in both. If you're a member of both, you can post in both. Just letting you know.
I'm a member of both.
You're an admin for both. You don't get to participate. And besides, you were married to a yarn dyer, so if you really want yarn dyed, I will dye it for you. And you don't knit fast enough for that. So we're CherryPieCottage on both. The Facebook group, you need to answer both questions correctly before we will let you in. So if you have been declined it's because you didn't answer the questions or you answered them wrong. We have yet to really come across one that was wrong. Most of them, they just don't answer them. So, but there, and Ravelry. And if you want to message us, you'd be better off messaging me on Instagram or Etsy because we don't really check Ravelry. Facebook, he might see it before me. He might answer you on Facebook quicker than Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah, typically.
So
if you get a stupid, sarcastic answer, it was him. Not me.
my turn?
Yeah.
So here on YouTube, do the YouTube's thing. Make sure to like and subscribe, like and share, and help us get the word out so we can get to 1,000 friends on YouTube. Not subscribers, friends.
Friends.
Because you're all of our friends.
Yes. And then we can do the running of the cherries.
Yeah. Oh, are we sticking with that?
Yep, you said it. It was funny. We're going with it.
God. Anyway, if we get to 1,000, A, we're going to do another giveaway. Mm-hmm. B, we can start doing the YouTube live from our phones.
Which means running of the cherries.
And 3, we can say that we got to 1,000 friends.
Yeah.
So
which would be a lot.
It would be. I don't think I have 1,000 friends in real life.
No.
Much less.
Our like local friend group is like.
I don't think I actually know 1,000 people.
Most of our friends locally. Well, one of them, their son is dating our daughter.
Yeah.
The other one, their son is our son's best friend.
Yes.
So those are the ones that we typically talk to the most. We have other friends, but those are the ones we typically hang out with the most.
But anyway. So that's it.
Yeah.
Episode 71 in the books.
Woohoo. God is good.
Read your Bible.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.